Welcome. In this session, we'll talk about Bhakti and Sufi philosophies, which are indeed one of the very important topics. Now, Bhakti philosophy talked about the idea of deep and personal devotion to God. However, this Bhakti movement had two forms, Sagun and Nirgun. Sagun that believed that there is a form of God that exists. However, Nirgun were the ones who believed that the God is formless. One of the major proponents among Nirgun was Kabir, and his dohas were one of the basic ideas through which he said that there is monotheism, and he actually criticized any kind of social or religious divisions which were present in the society. On the Sagun side, there was Tulsidas, Surdas, Mirabai and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as some of the major ones. Tulsidas was known for his works of Ramcharitramanas and his philosophies and ideas about Lord Ram. Surdas was who was the one who actually brought in the Vaishnavism and talked about the compositions and dedications of Lord Krishna. Mirabai again was known for her kirtans and talking about the life of Lord Krishna. The next was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was from Bengal, and he again revolutionized the Vaishnavism sect, and he talked about the chantings and the dance. Now, besides this, there were two important segments in Bhakti movement. They were known as Advait and Vishishta Advait. Advait was the idea brought by Shankaracharya. Vishishta Advait was the idea brought by Ramanujan. Under Advait philosophy, the basic idea was that the soul and the supreme reality, that is Atma and Brahma, are essentially one. However, Vishishta Advait, which was the idea of Ramanujan, said that there is non-dualism of God that exists. There is no Atma and Brahma that we can identify, but there is a distinct personal attribute which is present, and then was the concept of Maya, which was explained later. So this was about the Bhakti movement. Later came what was the spread of this movement through the South India. So from North India to the South, there was the movement of Alvars and Nyayanars, and that was basically to promote the Tamil Bhakti. During the 15th and 16th century, there was integration of these ideas and spread of these ideas further, and there was what was called as the Varkari Saint group, which was popular in the regions of Maharashtra, and they believed in Lord Vitthal and the idea of social equality that could be promoted. Finally, the idea was to unite the North and the South through the movements and through the ideologies. Again, under Nirgun, there was one important contribution, and that was the life of Guru Nanak. He was also considered as one of the major proponents of Sikhism and bringing in the idea of social equality. Coming on to the Sufi sect. Now, Sufi sect was the ones who were talking about the legacy of Islam, and the first one, the major one, was Chishti sect. Now, the Chishti sect was from Ajmer. They talked about the life which was the musical gatherings which were important during that period. The next was the humanitarian view, which was brought by Nizamuddin Aulia. The next was the Sohrawardi sect. Now, this was from the region of Multan. Unlike the others, unlike the Chistis, Sohrawardis were more orthodox, and they accepted head patronage under a political influence. The next was the Qadri, and Qadri was again having strong impact on the idea of vocal and musical aspects, and they were indeed orthodox as well. And another important sect was Naqshbandi sect, and this was more conservative, more orthodox, and they discouraged any kind of music that could be taken into consideration, right? But Qadri sect was important because it had a very important fundamentals of Sharia and internal discipline that they followed. So those were some of the major points that you must remember under the Bhakti movement and the Sufi movement. Indeed, we have covered all these in more detail in the respective lectures. So stay tuned for more updates, and all the best.